states, raids across different locations led to the seizure of dangerous illicit drugs and arrest of notorious dealers, including 45-year-old Remy Bamidele, alias Aluko the Mafia, at Sasa, Ibadan, where a total of 10.696 kilograms of Colorado, Scottish Loud, Ghana Loud, Canadian Loud, and Skunk, all strains of cannabis. At the time of his arrest on Thursday, 8 January, 2 vehicles, Toyota Venza and Toyota Yaris, marked HG06LYD, were recovered from him. At Adegbayi area of the state capital, Ibadan, NDLEA officers on Friday, 9 January, arrested Adeola Tohib with various quantities of Colorado, Ghana Loud, and Skunk, while Habib Ali was nabbed at Ring Road, Ibadan, with 1.264 kilograms Colorado, Scottish Loud, and Skunk. No less than 1,307,100 naira cash exhibits was also recovered from him at the point of his arrest on Saturday, 10th January. A dispatch rider, Osagbovo Edigin, and 2 other suspects, Ebimi Labo and Akime Success, were on Friday, 9th January, arrested at Ihama Airport Road, GRA, Benin City, Edo State, in connection with the seizure of 118 grams of Canadian Loud and a wrap of Colorado. While Jimo Agbonmegbe was arrested at Irua with 17.552 kilograms Colorado, Loud, and Skunk, another suspect, Evelyn Okoyomon, was nabbed at Ubiaja with 930 grams of skunk on Wednesday, 7th January. In Niger State, no fewer than 4,000 pills of tramadol, 225 milligrams, were recovered from a suspect, Nazifi Umar, at Dakwa Town, Tafa local government area, while another suspect, Yusuf Usman, was nabbed with 100 blocks of skunk weighing 47 kilograms at Lankaviri, Yoro local government area, Taraba State, on Wednesday, 7th January. No less than 30,950 capsules of tramadol were recovered from the home of a suspect, Ugwoke Chibueze, in Bachure area of Yola South local government area, Adamawa State, following his arrest at the Lamido Aliyu Mustafa International Airport, Yola, on Tuesday, 6th January. While commanding the officers and men of Akwa Ibom, Adamawa, Taraba, Edo, Oyo, and Niger commands of the agency for the arrest and seizures, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, stated that their operational successes and those of their compatriots across the country, especially their balanced approach to drug supply reduction and drug demand reduction efforts, are well appreciated. That's it on arrests and seizures. Next is the updates on some of the other activities across the country for the week, brought to you by my colleague, Peace.
Thank you, Netta. My name is Peace the Pastor, and here are some of the weather activities across the country for the week. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency is redefining Nigeria's approach to substance abuse through its War Against Drug Abuse WADA initiative. WADA adopts a more inclusive and progressive strategy rather than relying solely on enforcement, which has evolved into a broad-based national movement backed to unite government institutions, community organizations, families, and citizens. By prioritizing prevention, rehabilitation, and active community participation, the NDLEA underscores that combating drug misuse is a shared responsibility. Through continuous outreach in schools, markets, motor parks, places of worship, and other public spaces, the agency is raising awareness, correcting misconceptions, reducing stigma, and encouraging healthier lifestyles to build a safer, more resilient Nigeria. In this regard, on Monday, 5th January 2026, the Ebonyi State Command of NDLEA delivered a WADA sensitization lecture to students and youth of Oshituma Umoguduapu Ungo. The session raised awareness on the dangers of drug abuse and its adverse effects on health, behavior, and future prospects. Officers encourage the youth to adopt positive lifestyles, cultivate self-discipline, and resist negative influences, emphasizing the importance of responsible choices that contribute to personal growth and community well-being. On Thursday, 8 January 2026, the Kano State Strategic Command conducted a WADA sensitization lecture for students and staff of Abu Ayyub Ansari Islamia School, lying in Tuwantara, Fage local government area. The lecture highlighted the harmful consequences of substance abuse on moral values, academic performance, and societal harmony. Participants were encouraged to maintain discipline, cultivate self-consciousness, and remain focused on education as pathways to a drug-free and productive life. Concluding the week's activities, the Jigawa State Command delivered a WADA enlightenment lecture to students and staff of Government Day Science and Technical College, Babura. The session sensitized participants on the risk associated with drug misuse, particularly among young people, and underscored the importance of resilience, informed decision-making, and adherence to positive values in preventing substance abuse and promoting a healthy learning environment. That's the update for this week. My name is Peace, and I hand over to our host, Mr. Femi Babafemi.
All right, thank you very much, dear. Peace and Netta. Welcome back from the news highlight segment. Now let's remind ourselves that while we introduce our guest speaker and he begins to address the topic for today, please let's remain muted until after his presentation, and then we start inviting individuals, especially those that would have granted their request to move to the speaker's corner. As soon as we grant your request to move to the speaker's corner, please remain muted until after the presentation by our guest speaker, and then we'll start inviting individuals to make their contributions in few seconds or ask their questions so that we can hear each other and one another, and then be able to benefit and enjoy the whole conversation. Please let's ensure that we stick to this simple rule so that we'll be able to have a very seamless conversation. Thank you for your usual cooperation and understanding in this regard. Before I get to introduce our guest speaker, I would like to tell you about the NDLA's call center. That is a platform that works 24/7, and right there we have a dedicated toll-free helpline that anybody can sit in the comfort of their homes from any part of the country. The number is 0800 10 20 30 40. The number again is 0800 1020 3040. That's our toll-free helpline that anybody can call at any time. Either you want to give us information or you want to seek help. Right there we have our experts from counselors, psychotherapists, psychologists, clinical psychologists, and even psychiatric doctors who work 24/7. That is morning, afternoon, evening, night, all through the night. They are right there at the call center to attend to your needs, to guide you, and provide you psychosocial support services so that you can get over whatever the issues are. And perhaps in the assessment of your situation, if you need to be checked in physically to a rehab facility, they have the map of all the facilities, especially those of the agency that 30 across the country at the moment. We are adding additional 7 in the coming weeks. And then in addition to that, some of the other government facilities and partnering institutions where they can refer you to anyone closest to you. They'll be able to guide you through your treatment and then get you reintegrated back into your family and the society. That's our toll-free help. I would also like to tell you about the call center that right there. We are very language sensitive, meaning that for those who cannot speak English or Pidgin, especially compatriots down at the grassroots in the communities, villages, you can rest assured that this service can also attend to you in any of the 3 major Nigerian Nigerian languages, that is Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo. This is to further bridge the gap. We don't want language to be a barrier, so that's why we also provide this service in the three major Nigerian languages apart from English and Pidgin English. Thank you very much for that. Now let's get to the nitty-gritty, the conversation proper. Let's introduce our guest speaker today, and there's no other person than Dr. Oraifo Otaibe. He's a public health practitioner whose career reflects dedication, resilience, and unwavering commitment to healthcare delivery and population well-being across continents. He is a graduate of Noir State University, Ukraine, where he obtained his medical degree in 2014. Following his graduation, Dr. Otaibe completed his housemanship in Irua Specialist Hospital at Dorset, where he gained invaluable clinical experience in patient care and hospital medical practice. In service to his nation, he undertook his compulsory or mandatory 1-year National Youth Service at the General Hospital in Minna, Niger State, further strengthening his clinical competence and professional discipline. At the completion of his national service, Dr. Otaibe continued his medical practice across several hospitals in Benin City, that's Edo State, and Lagos, contributing meaningfully to healthcare delivery in diverse and demanding clinical environments. Driven by a passion for population health and health system environment, Dr. Otaibe relocated to the United Kingdom in 2022. In pursuit of advanced knowledge and professional growth, he obtained a master's degree in public health and health promotion in 2023, keeping him with critical expertise in preventive medicine, health advocacy, and community-based health interventions. That same year, Dr. Otaibe commenced his professional career with the National Health Insurance, that's NHS, United Kingdom, one of the world's most respected healthcare systems. He currently serves as the public health officer in a mental health hospital in Scotland, where he plays a vital role in promoting mental health well-being, preventive public health strategies, and evidence-based interventions for vulnerable populations. Dr. Otaibe's journey from medical training in Eastern Europe, clinical service in Nigeria, to public health leadership within the NHS in the UK exemplifies professional excellence, global competence, and a deep commitment to improving health outcomes. He stands as a source of inspiration to young medical professionals and a worthy ambassador of Nigerian medical expertise on the global stage. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Oraifo Otaibe as I invite him to unmute himself while we listen to him for the next 20-30 minutes, discuss our topic for today, that is preventive strategies against mental health and substance use disorders in the new year. It's our pleasure to have you, Dr. Otaibe. Please go ahead with your presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon, everybody. And it's a pleasure coming here this afternoon to discuss and learn. And I really found it worthy to be here to actually discuss prevailing things happening around the world and Nigeria as well. Mental health, it's a paramount thing that we need to actually stick to in Nigeria, because a lot of it's an epidemic. I would say it's an epidemic, but I won't say the government is not aware. They are aware, but tackling it amicably will actually give us a good stance in the future. Well, I would say preventing mental health, or at least mitigating the risk of developing mental health disorders, actually involves a combination of lifestyle choices, awareness, and early intervention. However, this topic, it's about the preventive strategies against mental health and substance use disorder. It's all about lifestyle modification, awareness, and early intervention. I'll be talking about some preventive strategies. There are like 8 preventive strategies. 1, building emotional resilience. 2, promoting physical health. 3, developing strong social support system. 4, managing stress effectively. And 5, early education and mental health literacy. 6, promoting purpose and meaning. 7, addressing mental health issues early. And the last one, 8, limit substance use. Out of all these ones I've mentioned, each of them have a subheading, and I'll be taking it one after the other, but I'll start from the building emotional resilience. Building emotional resilience has 3 subheadings. We have the self-awareness, we have the emotional regulation, and we have the developing coping mechanism. Self-awareness, it all depends. You have to go on a regular check with yourself, checking yourself emotionally, and the mindfulness. And it has to do with meditation as well, because let me elaborate on this. The Chinese people, they do a lot of meditation. But, we Christians and Muslims in Nigeria will say, we don't want to go about this meditation thing. But they're actually doing the right thing, because if you look at these Chinese people, most of them, they have their meditation reading that they actually go with. That meditation at least gives the body and mind a sound energy, and it relieves them from excessive stress. However, stress in turn could lead to mental health disorder. And in Lagos, according to World Health Organization, it was said that the life expectancy of Lagosians is 55. At least when you are 55, you should be expected to die because of the stress, because of the environmental hazards, and because of everything happening around that city. So what I'm trying to say here about self-awareness, you should do regular check with yourself emotionally, mindfulness, and you should meditate. It can help you stay in touch with your feelings, and it's actually very, very good in this regard. Then emotional regulation. Emotional regulation has to do with just you learning how to manage stress, anger, anxiety, and frustration. And there are lots of techniques like having a deep breaths and exercise. In this topic, they talk more about exercising, because exercising relieves someone of stress and it helps pulls the mind down. Then another subheading in building emotional resilience, we have the developing coping mechanism. Developing coping mechanism is like, okay, you engaging with someone, talking to someone, or taking a break off a hectic day from work or any other activities. And they make mention here again exercising, because they said regular exercising replaces negative habits like substance use and avoidance. Because if you exercise regularly, you tend to release endorphins, which reduces stress. Then the Second point we have here again is promoting physical health. As a public health specialist, our duty is to promote health and wellness. And promoting health and wellness is our priority. That's why we are able to achieve a lot of milestones. So promoting health is another aspect of this mental health issue. You should be checked regularly, and you should take your health as a priority, even when you think you're not feeling, even when you feel that you are well, but you should still do some regular checks just to be sure that you're on track. Another point here is healthy diets. A well-balanced diet rich in omega-3, fibers, antioxidants, and vitamins can actually support the brain and health. Because not taking food high in cholesterol that can actually block blood vessels and giving you high blood pressure, in turn leading to diabetes and causing different complications. So eating healthy is actually very, very important in this regard. Then another point here is adequate sleep. Having a consistent sleep hygiene, such as maintaining regular sleep schedule and creating a calm sleep environment is quite important, because in Nigeria, we don't actually have this. You can see people building houses along the roadside, which is not actually very, very okay. It's not really conducive for someone to have a good sleep. I could remember in my house in Lagos, my house was almost close to the streets, and you hear the motorcycles, cars passing around the road. It was something else. It was actually very difficult to sleep at that time, but I still managed. But creating an enabling environment to be able to sleep well is important, because calmness helps a lot. And in turn, it helps to regulate mood and cognitive function. Another point we have here again is developing social support system. It's all about building a support network, having a healthy conversations with friends and family, community group, and you fostering a sense of belonging and emotional support. It helps as well. Developing social support system, that helps. Then another point here is positive relationship. It said that we should actually invest much time and energy into healthy, supportive relationship and avoid toxic and draining individuals. We have toxic and draining individuals all over the world. It's not only in Nigeria, it's everywhere, in the UK here as well. People just come into your life and they want to destroy it. And you think that they are there for the good. So avoiding toxic relationship and avoiding toxic people is quite good for the mental health. Another point here is managing stress effectively. It's about practicing time management and engaging in relaxing hobbies, because this is what we don't actually do in Nigeria. All we just do is work, and we forget our mental health. And there's one thing I like about the Caucasians. that's the white people, they always find time to relax. You see them planning for holidays. I'm going for summer in Italy. I'm going for summer in one Eastern African country like Kenya, to the safari, to see things, to see animals, wild animals, to relax, to go somewhere else, just to have that relaxation and feel comfortable. But we don't do that in Nigeria. It's just few people that does that. So it's actually good for us to engage in relaxing hobbies and set aside time for self-care. You know, it helps. It helps to relax the mind and improve CBT, which is it helps to relax the mind and improves our cognitive function. So that is that. Then early education of mental health literacy. In this point, we have two subheadings, which are increasing awareness and learning signs and symptoms. Increasing awareness, of course, we know educating ourselves or educating yourself and others about mental health. That in turn can reduce stigma and encourage help-seeking behaviors. So then learning the signs and symptoms, by and large, by recognizing early warning signs of mental health issues and problems, e.g., like, for example, change in behavior. If you notice a change in behavior in someone, you should be able to speak out to the right body, so they will take it up from there. Or you notice mood swings, or you notice withdrawal. That's why you see people committing suicide nowadays. You think, oh, this guy, I saw him yesterday, he committed suicide. He has been going through a lot that he's not talking about. Do you get? So, and he has been keeping those things inside of him, which in turn led to suicide. So recognizing these early warning signs is very, very important. And if you could recognize that in anybody, you could actually be prompt about it, and you will let the person seek professional help. Then another point here is promoting purpose and meaning. It all the promoting purpose and meaning. There is subheading here. There are two subheadings which are engaging in meaningful work. It all boils down to pursuing activities and careers that align with good values and passions, which in turn provides a sense of purpose. Because I'll say today, I'll give an illustration. In medical school, there was a guy in my class who was into music. He really comes to class. He failed out of medical school. He's a popular musician now in Nigeria. I will not mention his name, but he failed out of medical school. He entered music. That guy, if he hadn't done music, he would have had mental issues by now. He would have been actually depressed or having something to, or having a problem with his mental health. Why I'm saying this is the point I raised, like providing purpose and meaning. It's all about pursuing your career what you are best at doing. That my colleague was not good in medicine. He pursued his musical career and he nailed it. And now he's doing absolutely very well in his musical career. That in turn has actually helped his mental health because he wasn't destined to be a doctor. You can't be forced to a profession that you are not supposed to be, that you can't contribute positively to. So he left medicine and went into the musical career, and he's very happy. He has actually prioritized his mental health, and he's fine with that, with his musical career. So that is it. Pursue activities and careers that align with values and passions, what you have passion for, which in turn provide a sense of purpose. So this actually helps the guy, and he's living fine now. So his mental health is not compromised. So it's good for us as individuals to know where we stand, to know where we stand and to actually think back and say, okay, this is what I want. This is what is actually meant for me, and this is what I'm going to be foreseeing in the nearest future. And if I start now, I should be able to achieve this thing positively. So that is that. Then another subheading here is volunteer to help others, like volunteering in community activities. And we do that a lot here in the UK, but I don't think it's being done in Nigeria that much. Like you go to this elderly people's home, like you can see that they can't trim up the flowers in their garden. You help them do that, just to let them know that community services still exists. So that sense of belonging, you interacting with the elderly, and you letting them know that you are here to help, it gives a sense of encouragement to them, and they are actually very, very grateful, and they have that fulfillment that, okay, that somebody is there. So they have this, how will I put it, there's a mental relief that, oh, okay, there's someone that's coming like 2 times every month to trim my flowers. It's a community service. Like now, I joined GREC, that's GREC, that's Grampian Regional Equality Council. We help people who are vulnerable, like who can't do things for themselves. So when they see us, they are very delighted, they are happy, they discuss with us, and this helps them, and it helps strengthens their mental health. It helps them thinking too much from it helps them thinking too much, and it helps them in turn to know where they stand in the community. So another point here is addressing mental health issues early. It all depends to seeking help when needed. Like if you know someone who experiences persistent feeling of sadness, anxiety, or symptoms, the person should kindly seek early therapy or counseling to prevent further escalations. Then psychological screening as well, regular mental health checkups even when the person is feeling well. I said this before, you should do on regular mental health checkup. Then CBT, which is the cognitive behavioral therapy, is actually very, very important. Yeah, it's actually a very preventive and effective therapy approach for managing stress, anxiety, and depression. So that is that. The last on the list is to limit substance use. Limit substance use, which we have like two subheadings under limiting substance use. We have avoidance of excessive intake of alcohol or drugs and mindful consumption. So substance abuse can exacerbate or even trigger mental health issues. Maintaining a healthy and coping mechanism can help avoid dependency. You know, that dependency in the sense, if you adopt a coping mechanism, you wouldn't be dependent on alcohol or drug use. So it's all about your coping mechanism and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So the next point, the next subheading here we have is mindful consumption. Mindful consumption is just you being aware of how much alcohol, caffeine, or even screen time, the television, how you watch the TV, can actually prevent dependency and reduce mental health issues. You know, it depends. You are aware of how much alcohol you take, caffeine, and all that. So that's just that. Like in this part of the world, in the UK, the Caucasians tend to consume a lot of caffeine, which is found in coffee. But as a black man, if you consume a lot of caffeine, your blood pressure shoots up, which can even affect your mood. If your blood pressure is up, your mood can be affected and your mental health can be affected as well. So it's not advisable for an African person to drink too much of coffee, because the Caucasians, they don't have that in their system. They could drink a lot of coffee. They could drink 10 cups of coffee. Nothing is going to shoot up their BP, their blood pressure. But you as an African man, if you follow their footsteps, you drink lots of coffee, your BP might shoot up. And if you and if you have risk factors of developing high blood pressure, it comes up immediately and your mental health will be affected. So for us that drink coffee a lot in Nigeria, we shouldn't be drinking coffee too much. I'm not saying we should not drink coffee, but we should limit the kind of coffee we drink. There are coffee that are decaffeinated. They don't have caffeine. So if we could drink that as well, it will help. So then consumption of alcohol. A doctor won't tell you to stop alcohol totally because of withdrawal symptoms. Because if you stop alcohol totally, you will have withdrawal symptoms or relapse. It might even become worse. So it's stopping it gradually. Maybe for now you're taking 5 bottles in a day of beer. You could reduce it to 3 bottles, or you could then the next week you could reduce it to 2 bottles. Then that's how you flow, and it will stop just like that. So that is it. Avoid excessive alcohol. then mindful consumption of alcohol, caffeine, and the rest of it. Then fostering a positive environment. This it all depends. Creating a positive and living space is very, very important because in Nigeria, most of us are opportune to live in a good environment with all the amenities there, but some of us are unfortunate to live in face me, I face you. You know, someone living in face me, I face you will always be angry, no matter how. Most of the people living in face me, I face you, if you check them well, their mental health has been compromised. You know, he said they're fostering a positive environment, creating a positive living space, both physical and social, you know, and surrounding yourself with positive influences and ensure your living or working space are comfortable and supportive. You know, at your workplace again, you should be able to be friendly to, you should be able to be friendly with staffs and people you come across in your workplace. Lively people, supportive friends, which will help your mental health. So that is that. I think I'm done with. The mental. Sorry, hold on. I think I'm done with the preventive strategies of mental health. Then where I would dive into is substance use disorder. I don't know if the house could give me like 6-7 minutes off because I need to go pick my kids. I need to go pick my kids from school.
Okay, you want us to give you what might?
Like 6-7 minutes. I need to go pick my kids from school.
Right now, right?
Yeah, right now it's 3:00 here, so I need to go pick them from school, then come back. It's just across the road here. It's just 2 minutes walk from my house.
All right, that's fine. We continue the conversation while we expect your return.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Then that's Dr. Orefo Otaibe, public health practitioner. He's based in Scotland, where he practices in a mental health hospital that's in Scotland. He's been speaking with us in the past 20, 30 minutes thereabout. He would run up as soon as he returns, and then we open up the floor for the conversation proper, that is questions and answers. But meanwhile, before we get to while we await his return, let's quickly acknowledge some of our compatriots who have joined us from across the globe on this space today, especially those with us here on X Space, while we also recognize our compatriots who are joining us via our Facebook page. That's at NDLA01, that's on Facebook, and at NDLA TV on YouTube. Thank you very much, everyone. This is the start of the new year. That's on this conversation. We'd like to acknowledge a number of people that we already identified right on the X-Space. Like I said, we appreciate those who are joining us live on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. But right here on X-Space, we can see some of our colleagues and others who are joining to be part of this conversation. First, we have Dr. Jonah Kolo. Dr. Jonah Kolo is the coordinator, the head of the Alternative Development Unit of the agency. And I'm also seeing one of my colleagues there, that's Itoha Ekpemiata Olani. I hope I got that Ekpemiata right this evening. Thank you. Itoha is the head of station of Clean Beat FM 91.5 Abuja here. Thank you very much, Shito. And we have Erica Abank. Erica Abank, thank you for being part of the conversation today. We also have Lukman Nosiru. Lukman Nosiru, thank you. We also have Pieces MON. Thank you, Pieces. I've also seen Wuni Wale Ganus. Thank you very much, Wuni Wale Ganus. We also have Sani Waliulai. Sani Waliulai, thank you for being part of this first conversation in 2026. I also have Timo, that's Timothy. Thank you very much, Timo. In addition to those that I mentioned, we have Shima Obi Franklin. Thank you, Shima Obi, for being part of the conversation today. I also have Euphemia. Thank you, Euphemia. Benga Paul Daramola. Thank you, Benga. Barry Nation. Thank you very much, Barry Nation. Very consistent and well deep into the anti-substance abuse advocacy effort. Thank you very much, Barry Nation. We also have Abdul Malik Yahaya. Abdul Malik is another advocate in this field. Thank you very much, Abdul Malik. We also have another regular, that's Isaiah. Thank you very much, Isaiah Shimogu. Millie at MK Lima, thank you. We have another regular. Thank you very much, Madam Victoria Ochechi. Glad to have you early in the new year. Thank you very much, Victoria Ochechi. We'll have more people there. Okay, we also have Funsho Jimo. That's another regular. Thank you very much. I have my colleague also in Lagos, that's Rita Okwe. Thank you very much, Lady Rita there. I have another of my colleagues there in Abuja here, Anne Wora. Thank you very much, Lady Anne. Famous Udo, thank you for being part of this conversation. We also have Abdul Mumin Abubakar. Platform where we have our experts who work 24/7. That's every day of the week, every second, every minute, every hour, around the clock. They provide support, psychosocial support services to people who may be out there, they are having issues, or they have their loved ones, their friends their family members who are struggling with substance abuse. They probably don't know how to go about getting help. right on your finger with your phone in your hand, then you can dial our toll-free helpline, that is 0800 10203040, and then you get the needed help. All you need to do is to dial our toll-free helpline, and then you get our experts who work 24/7 at the call center. I'm talking about our counselors, our psychotherapists, clinical psychologists, our psychiatric doctors who work 24/7, and they will be available to assist you, to talk to you, and you can rest assured that your conversation, your whatever you share with them, they are treated with utmost confidentiality. This is a place where you get succor, where you get the support that you need. And so, for those who may be afraid of going into a physical rehab facility to talk about their issues or to get psychosocial support services, you don't have to be afraid of being judged, or you don't have to be afraid of being stigmatized. Right at our call center, you don't need to see your face. They don't need to know your names and all of those. All they need is they want to talk with you. They want to know what you are going through, and then they can support you, put you on teletherapy, and then they begin to have scheduled conversations with you to support you, to counsel you until you are able to get over the issues. That is the much that NDLA is doing presently to provide support to everybody across board, wherever they are located in any part of the country. That's in addition to our rehab, counseling and rehab facilities across the country, 30 of them, where anybody can also go in our commands located in their states to seek treatment. And right there, we have also bedding facilities where people can be checked in and provided the needed support at very minimal costs compared to what you have out there. That's. Let's hope we can continue with the conversation with Dr. Taigbe. Now, Dr. Taigbe, you are back, right?
Yes, I'm back. Thank you.
All right, so please let's have the concluding part of your presentation. Thank you.
Yes, I'll be talking about substance use disorder. That's the other topic. Substance use disorder involves a pattern of substance use that actually affects the brain function and behavioral patterns, leading to loss of control over the use of Indian hemp, heroin, or cocaine. Then strong cravings and continuous use despite harm to health, relationship, work, or school. That's why you find people dropping out of school, and because they are so in depth in this use of hard drug, they tend to drop out from school. And people living in ghettos, and what do you have it again? Joblessness can actually lead to this. Joblessness can actually lead to substance use disorder as well. Because you find them, a lot of youths in the suburbs of Lagos and other parts of the country. You find them smoking in their hand, even on the streets. Because if they are actually engaged with something, engaged with work or engaged with their with work or engaged with other activities, they won't have time to actually be involved in substance use. So that's it. Then common substances involved that are abused are alcohol, tobacco, nicotine, opioids. Opioids include heroin, morphine, and prescribed painkillers. Actually, these prescribed painkillers actually got me because doctors prescribe painkillers to patients, but in turn, some of these painkillers are actually addictive, and they could be substance use disorder. It could be addressed as substance use disorder. You are prescribing morphine to a patient, and morphine actually has a sedative effect, which makes patients sleep. And you're prescribing morphine over time to a patient. A patient will not get used to the morphine and ask for more morphine. Though they say the benefit outweighs the risk, but I think some moderation should be put in that regard. Then stimulants, it was mentioned here, cocaine. I'm just addressing the substances that are being abused. Stimulants involves cocaine use, methamphetamine, cannabis. No, cannabis is on its own. Stimulant is just cocaine and methamphetamine. Then cannabis, then sedative and tranquilizers. We have a diazepams and methodiazepams as well. Then the hallucinogens and inhalants. I've watched a video, an American movie where young guys were actually sniffing some stuff. I didn't know what they were sniffing, but they got high on what they were actually sniffing. That's what we classify as inhalants. They inhale it and get high on that. Then the causes and risk factor of substance use disorder is classified into biological, psychological, social, and environments. It's classified into biological, psychological, social, and environments, the causes and risk factors. Then I'll go to the biological. Biological can be genetic vulnerability or early exposure to substances. Psychological could be stress, trauma, anxiety, or depression, leading to substance use disorder. Then poor coping skills. We said earlier on how to cope with all those things so you can actually relieve yourself from taking hard drugs. Then under psychological, we have low self-esteem as well. When you feel that you have low self-esteem, that instigates the use of hard drugs and stuff. So you think, okay, after taking hard drugs, you think, okay, you have the audacity, you have the boldness to speak to anybody you want to speak to. That is just it. So that's it. Okay, I'll talk about coping skills as well. What happened with Anthony Joshua recently? Two of his friends died in a crash in Nigeria. It's going to affect him psychologically. He could even impair his mental health. But thank God he's from the UK, and there are a lot of coping strategies that could be put in place in that regard, because not everyone could actually come out of that kind of situation. So why I put this as a context or as an example is like, okay, he is going to be psychologically affected and it could lead to mental health. And now he has all the health. I can promote health. All we do is promoting health and wellness as a public health specialist. So diagnosis, how will you know that you have this diagnosis? There are clinical criteria that are used to diagnose this is bad. If you start taking it, you'll be dependent on it. And the dependency is not what they will want to, is not what they will like. If they are dependent on substance use, that's damaging their life in the long run. Then life skill training. Life skill training. It all depends on the individual. You train yourself on stress management and refusal skills. If someone gives you something, which is heroin or cocaine or one of these hard drugs, you should be able to say, okay, I have this refusal skill in me. No, I don't want to take this, or I don't want to fall into relapse. I want to be able to train my mind to stop it. Another prevention strategies or preventive strategies we have on the list again is early early screening and intervention. It's actually good for you to screen yourself because early screening matters. Because if these guys are caught young, like taking drugs, they can be educated, sensitized. You can't expect a 10-year-old boy who's caught taking drug. If that person is educated well and spoken to, and he has gotten the awareness, at least the person is still very young, his brain can still function properly if he desists from taking hard drugs. So, catching them young, early screening and intervention is a very good one. Then, strong family and social support. At least the person's family should be able to support the person, support from the family, and have that strong support from the family. It's a good one. Then treatment and management. This whole thing can be treated. It's treatable. It's not something that you can say one is taking hard drugs. Okay, it's going to be very difficult, but it's quite difficult for some of them. Some of them end up dying. Losing their lives. They cannot just stop. They can't just stop. I've seen a lot here in the UK. They can't just stop. They can't just stop. But at least we've gotten some positive feedbacks, and we've gotten some actually very, very good feedbacks from those that have actually stopped and they're living a very good and better life for themselves. So, treatment and management. One we have on the list is detoxification. You know, detoxification, you could detox yourself from all those toxins, all those things you've taken in the past. Another one here is psychosocial intervention, CBT, group therapy, and peer support. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, group therapy. Like you could form a group, like just discuss something. It could help. It can help. It's a management strategy to be able to curb substance use. You form a group. It could be a group chat. You just discuss something positive, something that could actually brighten up your thinking and your mind, something supportive. Bring up a topic and talk about that topic and just educate yourself about it. Another one is peer support. Peer support in the sense having a strategic peer group that knows all about stopping substance use. Having that peer support that can, okay, this is my friend. I want him to stop by all means. He needs to stop so he can have a better life. That peer support, it helps a lot in the treatment and management. A family therapy as well. When the person's family is around, it could help. At least seeing your family around, you're not being neglected because you're using substance use. See, it could help to remedy the situation. Then medication as well. Medication too. There are lots of medications that can help stop um, substance use, like methadone and buprenorphine are used for opioids disorder. Opioids disorder, you can use methadone. But of course, you cannot just get this readily available in the pharmacy in Nigeria. It must be prescribed by a practitioner. Methadone is not just something you just get anyhow because overdose of methadone could kill. Then naltrexone and acamprosate are used for alcoholic disorder. You know, with this, with what Mr. Femi said, with all those things that have been put in place, they should be able to put this into consideration. The medications, nicotine therapy replacements, rehab programs. This is under the treatments now. So it's if they could put this in place, like giving medications to actually stop chronic alcoholism or to stop opioid intake, it will be fine. Nicotine replacement therapy used for nicotine disorder, those smoking cigarettes. I talked about it previously. The use of nicotine patches. Instead of smoking it directly into your lung, you take nicotine patches on your forearm. Then another treatment and management is the rehab programs. It could be inpatient, it could be outpatient. Inpatient in the sense that the patient is inside the rehab facility. Outpatient is that, okay, the patient is coming to the rehab facility, coming from home to the rehab facility, which is outpatient rehab. Then community based and then recovery program. Community based, where you go to the community and see those involved, you talk to them and give them a hope and sense of belonging. Then the recovery program, most of them get recovered from it and they stop using hard drugs. And I think that is it for now. Yeah, that's it for now. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you very much, dear Dr. All right, for Sidebreak, he's been speaking with us. He actually, he actually did an expansive and well detailed presentation. Thank you very much. We actually we couldn't ask Dr. Taigbe to to take a pause because he had earlier given himself some 6 minutes pause, and then because it's our first in the new year, so we needed him to exhaust himself, exhaust all that he needed to offer, and that's why we stretched it for this long. But then we still managed the remaining few minutes for questions, for contributions. So perhaps for anyone who may want to make contributions or interrogate the presentation by Dr. Otagbe, this is the time for you to switch over to the speakers corner. But quickly, we have a number of questions in our DM which we'll quickly attend to so that we can have some responses. Okay, yeah. Thank you once again, Dr. Otagbe, for the extensive presentation. We appreciate your time. And then let's, you're welcome. Okay, let's quickly get to, like I said, for those that may want to speak directly here, or if you want to send your questions, send to our DM, we'll read. And for those that want to speak here, just request for the mic, we'll approve you, you stay muted, and then we invite you to make your contribution or ask your question. But quickly, let's take the first question here. Yes, this is okay. Okay, let's get Perpetua. Thank you. I've seen Perpetua, and I've also seen health situations that at Ngozi Imbe. Thank you very much, Ngozi. There, I read your article today. That's a beautiful job there. And we also have Perpetua and Namdi Emmanuel. I believe Perpetua. Let's before we go to our DM, let's give Perpetua the opportunity to make her contribution and answer a question. Perpetua, please go ahead. Yeah, Perpetua, you are on. Well, we are doing. Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot that I was actually muted. All right. Thank you very much. There. I will take the first question from Moses. Moses, he said, "Thank you very much, Dr. Otagbe, for your presentation. But somewhere in the first part of your presentation or second part, you did mention that most face me and face you people do have mental health problems and even substance use issues. While we appreciate the fact that poverty or environment contributes largely to some of these problems, even those who live in opulence also have these problems. That is mental health issues and substance use issues. How do you reconcile this? Thank you. All right, thank you very much there, Moses. Dr. Taibe, I believe you got his question. Please, you can mute yourself and speak to it.
Yes, thank you very much, Moses, for that. Of course, people living in good houses and those houses, nice houses, of course, they still have mental health problems, but it affects those living in ghettos mostly, because those living in ghettos, they don't have reliable access to they don't have reliable access to healthcare. Like, what I mean, they don't have access to good healthcare. They don't have access to good healthcare, yeah. And again, finances. You can't compare someone living in Face Me, I Face You to someone living in Banana Islands who is on drugs. Someone living in Banana Islands who is a crack addict. And someone living in Ajegule who is a crack addict.
the person living in Banana Island will have more influence, health-wise, accessing good health care than the person living in Ajigule or Face Me, I Face You in one part of Lagos or one suburbs in Nigeria. So I don't think I think I've answered your question.
All right, I believe so. Thank you, Dr. Taibe Moses. I believe that satisfies you or meets your need. Okay, let's take this one from Pate. This is from Adepate. Adepate is okay. While appreciating the presentation by Dr. Taibe,